I'm not going to join them, but I'm going to infiltrate, and I'm going to get in there, and I'm going to be a voice from the inside. They've deemed me a threat to security, and they need to.
So Tana Reed's comments are becoming even more critical to assess in light of some of the security problems that are happening in the Olympia School District. So at Capitol High School, just in the first week of the school year, the first day of school, a 15-year-old brought a loaded handgun to school. A few days later, a 17-year-old was caught in a bathroom stall passing what appeared to be a handgun. It turned out to be a realistic-looking BB gun over to another student. And so you had 2 gun-related incidents in the course of about a week, and that led some concerned parents at a board meeting on September 14th to raise the issue of perhaps bringing back school resource officers. The Olympia School District, much like other progressive places of the country and of Washington State, did away with their school resource officers amid all the anti-police animus in 2020. And now some parents are like, hey, we have some serious safety problems, and our schools, in particular our high schools, could really benefit from bringing the SROs back. Here's some parental testimony.
I've had kids at Capitol clear back to 2013, and I've seen the violence and drug issues at the school get progressively worse.
We're the only district in the county that doesn't have SROs right now. And the census data shows we have about 60,000 citizens under the age of 18, and only 12 of them are in the juvenile detention system. Using those numbers, that's 0.02%. We've got to turn the tide on our shared perception of law enforcement and how we view them.
But true to form, the Olympia School District and the Olympia School Board of Directors can't just do something because it is the obvious, common sense, correct thing to do. They have to concern themselves with identity and what is this going to mean for communities of color? What is this going to mean for the sense of safety of our students who don't like cops? What is this going to mean for Director Tana Reed, who called cops pigs and encouraged rioting in her city? And so they're going about this long, laborious process of trying to decide, should school resource officers come back? And if so, what are some restrictions or changes that we should place on the program to make sure everyone feels hunky-dory? So the meeting on September 14th happened, and essentially they just did kind of a paperwork thing where they gave the superintendent permission to begin the process of conversing with the police department about bringing SROs back. And then at a September 28th meeting, and look, there are not many things. There are not many things that surprise me anymore about the Olympia School District. But every once in a while, something happens where I'm like, they can't possibly be that ridiculous. They can't possibly think this is okay. So at the September 28th meeting, there was a decision to create essentially a community safety task force that will work together to develop the best practices if the school resource officers come back. It's going to be made up of 10 students, 4 staff members, 4 community members, and 2 Olympia School District Board of Directors. Do you want to guess who they decided? Which directors they decided to put in charge of determining the future of security in the Olympia Public School District? Well, one of them that they decided would just be perfect for the job was Tana Reed. Here's the school board describing what Tana Reed will be tasked with.
Director Reed and Director Clifthorne over the last year have been the lead from the school board in our previous meetings with the city of Olympia and city council members and leadership at the police department. So perhaps they would be the sponsor from the board. But the purpose would be to assist the superintendent in crafting the procedures to accompany policy 4311 that will guide and inform any formal partnership with the school district and the police department, but also assist in the crafting of a draft memorandum of understanding to serve as the springboard for any negotiation between the district and the police department for any future school police officer program.
Oh, yes. The school board member who called cops pigs, said F the police, encouraged rioters to tear the city up so they could get their way. The woman who called herself a threat to security has been appointed to help craft how the district will keep students secure moving forward, and will get to help decide whether school resource officers will be able to come back into schools. Someone who said immediately after the meeting, that she does not support police officers in schools. And we wonder if she's actually going to be a productive part of the conversations around the SRO program. Here's what she posted to her campaign Facebook page, because yes, she is on the ballot in November because she wants to stay on the school board. I highly, highly recommend Olympia parents really considering whether that's the best idea. But she wrote, as I stated last night, I will not support any motion to permanently place armed police officers into schools. Police are not educators and do not belong in schools except during limited emergency situations. She went on to say, I support the district's work for forming healthy and safe relationships with local law enforcement, but this does not include hiring SROs to be placed in our schools. This is the woman. Call me crazy, but someone who referred to herself as a threat to security?
They've deemed me a threat to security, and they need to.
Probably shouldn't have anything to do with school security. Yet here we are.